Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 6th of July in the year 2020. And I'm going to remind you one more time to use the link in the description below and prepare yourself. Use Patriot Pantry to get water defluoridation, to get solar energy, storage solutions, and pre-prepared food for when they decide to pull the plug on the food chain. They've already started in Canada. Canada is right above us. Just like they started testing cattlemen, beef workers for COVID-19, and suddenly they were all positive. They're doing the same thing with farm workers, and suddenly they're all positive. The amount of ranchers and guys that own cattle houses that were raising the alarm the first time this started off in March, they're doing it again. They're going directly after our food supply. Whether you grow it, whether you have livestock on your property, whether you own a cattle ranch, they're going after all of it. And they have the solution. Bill Gates has grown in a lab clean meat. Meat that they make out of chemicals and whatever is what people in 20 years will be eating. And they'll be laughing at people like us. Like, imagine that humanity for time immemorial, since the day of creation, have been eating vegetables and livestock provided by the earth, or ultimately God. Now they're saying, you can't have that. That's crazy. That's all contributing to climate change, which is just ludicrous, but if you say it enough, people believe it. It's astounding to me. The second wave is being prepared. Texas is getting smashed. I don't know if you know that, but I keep getting emails from Texas. More and more mandates are being implemented. What you can and can't do, this, that, and the other thing. In the military, the National Guard is testing people for COVID-19. This ain't over. Remember the Operation Hyperdrive or Hyperspeed? We'll have a vaccine by January. They're still doing it. They're setting up hotels all over the United States that FEMA's already bought. This is old news, but here it comes all over again. They're setting up hotels to hold people in quarantine. They're starting this nonsense all over again, even though with all the time that's gone by, it should be flagrantly obvious to people that COVID-19 wasn't real. It wasn't real. It still isn't real. And they're still going to keep pushing this. They're setting it up so that if you tested positive for this invisible killer disease, they can take your children. Why is it the children are being targeted in this entire thing? Do you catch on to that? Mandatory vaccines are already set up in at least one state that I can think of off the top of my head, but I've been off grid for 2 days, so I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. This keeps pushing forward. But they are specifically going after the food. There's a reason these people they spent my lifetime buying the media, buying up all the oil and gasoline, buying up and incorporating all the banks and all the food stores, grocery stores. I see all these places all over the United States where, when I was a kid, there were mom and pop gas stations, this, that. Those are all shut down and ghost town status, while corporate entities rule every town. Every town of over 5,000 people has a Walmart, several corporate gas stations, and at least one Walgreens or some other massive pharmaceutical chain, because Americans need their meds. It's sad. And watching people celebrating the 4th of July, man, wow. It's astonishing that they're really going. I mean, I get it. People like blowing stuff up. People like setting up fireworks, bonfires. I get it. But it seems like everyone should have banded together as a country and pointed out what we... 4th of July, lock it in your house, stay in, stay safe. You're not essential. Your kids don't go to school anymore. And then you've got the protesters literally cleaning the slate. Every time a country gets conquered, the conquering army for time immemorial has gone through and ripped down statues. Remember Saddam Hussein? Statues and anything of historical value. Well, we've got protesters doing that in the United States right now for the New World Order. And they don't even get it. It's unreal. It's surreal watching this happen. And so many people that claim they know God, that claim they see what's going on, still do nothing to slow down what's happening. They leave it to others. I know that, yeah, I know this is good. I know it's not real. I know. Still, they're taking our country. And there's only a few of us that are, in the grand scheme of things, that are actually trying to stop it. It's unbelievable. At any rate, I figured I'd check in. Richie from Boston. I'm out.